So we will call together call to order the Williamstown Fire District Prudential Committee meeting of Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. And we will start off with our roll call. Beverly. Here. Nehawk.
Here.
Noyes.
Here.
Pedersini. Here. Brazy here present. We have 5 present. We have a quorum. And we'll go into approval of minutes, the minutes of our June 24th, 2026 Prudential Committee meeting. I entertain a motion from the We have a motion. We have a second. Do we have any discussion on the minutes as were presented within your packets? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
No. Next item of business, we're going to go into the committee organization of vote. We'll take any nominations. Presently we have myself as chair, Lindsay as vice chair. Is there any nominations? Retain that.
I just would nominate you being chair.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, so we'll take these individually. So is there any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, we'll do this as a roll call. Beverly? Aye. Nehawk?
Aye.
Noyes?
Aye.
Pedersini?
Aye.
And Brazy, I'm gonna just abstain on that. Next up, will be for vice chair. Do we have a nomination for vice chair?
Or for Lindsay to be the vice chair.
Okay, nomination of Lindsay as vice chair and seconded by Noyes. Do we have any discussion on that? Hearing none, roll call vote of Beverly.
Aye.
Nehawk.
Abstain.
Noyes.
Aye.
Pedersini.
Aye.
And Maurice, aye. Great. Next up, treasurer's report going into our June 2026 warrants. We'll get that. Can I get a motion for an approval on the warrant? I have a motion in a second. We'll get that on the floor. Billy Joe.
Mike did point out a mistake in here. I just wanted to say that. So the up at the top is the Berkshire County Sheriff's Office. That is to do Berkshire County retirement. The fund you get from, so they give us the money to pay for the retired folks, half of their portion of their health and medical. So that's that. And it comes from the retirement.
So the only question on that is, does that need to be corrected in your software system? Because that's probably showing a credit under Berkshire County Sheriff.
No, it is under Berkshire County retirement. It's just, I do an Excel sheet and this, but
I got it. It's under that, but on this
Yeah,
Excel, it
I
populated as Berkshire County Sheriff.
Yeah, and I'll fix this too for the,
So my question was the national grid. We see there's a national grid on here of
Yeah.
1,265.11. Is that like,
That's the first,
that's an electric bill?
bill we got.
It's our first bill that we had to pay, we're responsible to pay.
That's very good. I think.
Mhm.
And that's an actual, not a, as far as you know, chief.
As far as we know,
that's-
National Grid was here today doing a site visit with our OPM. And he had a whole bunch of questions for Calder, and then he said, okay, I'm done, and got his car and left, so we don't know.
Okay.
We'll find out when he reaches out in written communication.
Okay, well, we'll continue to monitor it, but I think that's more in line with what we're expecting to see for electric bills and clearly going down from there. Any other members have any questions on the warrant? Okay, hearing none, all in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next up is going to be our financial report, our reporting right through June of 2026. And that's going to be presented, but I'll entertain a motion for approval on the financial report.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion and a second discussion.
These numbers aren't final, I'm working through, getting final numbers for June for the audit and so on. Obviously, as bills come in, they'll be added. There's a couple of bills there, that will be added to the June year end. But overall, there's nothing significant. Like we are gonna end the year, with surplus, which is kind of what we expected throughout the year, which is okay. That money will be going into our pot of money for future years to use and spend the dividends. But that being said, a lot of it has to do with, interest earnings, which we won't have next year. And I think next year will be probably a balanced spending versus considering that we're coming into a brand new building, halfway through, and I'll let everyone know, so. I think we, we landed in a good place, better that than other.
Yeah, a lot of unknowns still to trend as we navigate this building. So
Yeah.
far,
And it's good, so I'm working on other things, I'm working through the audit, we're working with the auditors now, obviously I'm not done, but when I am done, hopefully soon, they will go in, and do their thing. I'm working with this Lamar also, we're on a tax assessment, so.
For the auditors, so they want to do it in
September, we had, so my goal is hopefully be, it's mostly getting all the, like, so a couple things I know I'm gonna is, and I've already gone through. I only have the bills through April, so I mean, May and June, and he knows it, and he's gonna, I think he'll good about getting that to me, and, with to wrap up the June number. Yeah, so that's kind of one big piece I know that I have left to do, and, but other than that, I think we're good, and then I'm hoping to be done by July, is kind of a goal I give myself, and then just tell the auditors, because then they have that. And then they'll go in, and I won't touch any June numbers after that.
I did see that.
Oh, did you?
One day, yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he confirmed.
Yeah.
So that's all good.
Yeah. I think we're in good, I do think we're in good shape to be able to meet that deadline.
Any further comments or questions regarding the financial report?
So how do we vote on the June financials if we're still waiting on some numbers to finish?
We wait for the audits, what the auditor presents the financials, and then we vote on that, that's a.
Well, he's going to present the audit.
Yeah.
financials.
But we're trying to approve June,
This
but we
one.
still have numbers that are missing.
So there's,
She's saying she's
so
still waiting for.
there's numbers missing here.
Well, missing in the sense, like, we just got some water bills come in, right, so they're not in here, like, yeah, but they are June for the June services, so they'll go into June numbers. And obviously the two bills I'm waiting for Brewstone, those are May and June, I don't have them, so I don't.
That's to close out your fiscal year.
Correct.
I still think we can take a vote on what you presented here for the June financials. And then we obviously, when we're, whether it's yeah, chief.
Just mention here, if I may,
Yeah.
I believe that next month you could do an addendum to the June financials.
Okay, yeah.
You vote on what you have up to
Sure.
this point, and then she says,
Mhm.
the following things came in that were attributed to last fiscal year, blah, 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 blah. And then you just take a vote on that addendum of the June bills.
Love that. Yeah.
So, no, I already played.
So then we'll be voting now on approval of the finance report as it's been presented to us, which does run through June of 2026. Pick this back up at the next meeting. So all in favor of approval of the financial report as presented for June of 2026, please say aye. Aye. Great. Next up, fire station progress report. I can speak to this real quick. I'll have Steve speak to it. Discussion if we'd like. We did have a presentation from Bruce at the FinCom meeting of last week. For the most part, everything's complete and done. Waiting on Consigli really to kind of close out everything on their end. There's been a few things with some of their people being out and whatnot. So they are doing it. I did receive just another payout yesterday. Again, it does not close out the project by any means, but it is another payout. I think it was brought up there, but I believe we brought it up at the last Prudential committee meeting. It's about the IT room, the HVAC, and the plan is to, and I apologize, refresh my memory. Was this discussed at our last Prudential committee?
Yeah.
When we decide to, yeah, so we do want to, just have them do it as a CO, change order to the project.
So that was brought to Consigli,
Yep.
and it is in the works right now. We're working on getting numbers.
Yeah. Chief, would you like to speak to some other building things?
Sure. Well, actually, while we're on that subject, where we're at with it is Bob actually had to get heat loads for all the equipment running in that room. So he had to reach out to like the 4 different vendors that have stuff running in there, which we've compiled all that stuff now for the engineers so that they
Do
can.
you, the intern, want a portable AC unit in there and just duct it up to the drop ceiling? Or? I mean, that's what we do in data rooms when.
We're getting by.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave it at
If you
total.
get in a crunch, let me know, because I've got about a dozen sitting. You're welcome to come grab one in the interim. But
We can't afford that in the electric bill, sorry. We are getting by, though, leaving the door open has kept it, you know, at least moderately warm instead of scorchingly hot. Other stuff with the building, garage doors, we're still waiting on them about the antenna for the receivers for the front doors.
talk about that, because that one baffled me, but I learned something new.
So in this building, especially, you know, when we brought up the fact that the garage door openers weren't working outside the building, like, well, they work all the time. We use these things all the time. What they're finding is that with the newer, more energy efficient buildings, they're tighter. The building itself hasn't changed much in size, dimension, but the doors, those front doors are very thick and they have the low E coating on the glass. And it blocks the RF signal.
Yeah.
So out back, the door openers are working much better than they are out front. So they're actually gonna put an external antenna on the front that will pick up the signal from the transmitters and tell the garage door that it needs to open. So hopefully,
I
hopefully that'll solve the
didn't
problem.
believe it at first, but it's
I think-
true.
yeah,
It's.
That'll solve that. We also had a power outage today and the emergency standby generator did not start. So we have calls into Consigli, Kamali, and somebody else. Basically, we called everybody we could think of and said, hey, this isn't working and it costs an awful lot of money to not work. So we gotta get that rectified, but we're on top of that.
Question, Chief. So in a situation like that, and you can't get the garage doors up, are you manually able to?
There's a manual override. The person that was here just didn't understand it wasn't like a manual override he had seen before.
Sure.
So we squared that away. But yeah, the doors do have a manual override and you can still hear them.
You know, the generator in our old station didn't start the first time either.
Maybe it's a good one.
That was a lot of years ago.
We'll get 75 years out of this one.
Yeah.
Other than that, station stuff, you can see that the screen is up and it's working good. They're still working on the settings a little bit. They're trying to get the screens to match as close as possible because they're two totally different types of screens, but very happy with it so far. They'll actually be here at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning to finish the integration system over there with it and hopefully close out the project. That's about it with the building. I mean, other than that, we're trending pretty well. We're still trying to figure out where things go. We picked up little bits and pieces of things that we need to work on, but by and large, we're in good shape. Not yet, not yet. We still have a lot of stuff to purchase, you know, for FF&E that we had for the project, but you know, we caused that just to try to be able to close this out so that every time Bruce thinks he's at a final number, you know, he doesn't get bombarded with the stuff that we're still buying. So, you know, we're just trying to close it out and then we'll continue and finish getting the stuff that we need because we still have, you know, probably $30,000 worth of stuff we have to buy.
Yeah, that's the thing we're anxiously awaiting for is to really see what that final number is, what the surplus is, and then what some unrealized additional revenue will be. So I know Lance Committee is, as Billy and Joe knows from our meeting and stuff, is very keen on getting that too. Right now, we're just at the mercy of waiting for the contractor to kind of true up everything so we can get going. But we do want to get this thing closed out.
We have about another 30 days before I really have to think about buying the lawnmower because they're responsible for the lawn for 90 days. And
Well, watering, not the lawn, but like bushes.
they are responsible for it. They're supposed to be watering.
Are there?
And no.
Okay.
No, we've been watering, Bob, myself, Kevin O'Mara, have watered as we see that it's gone, days without rain.
Yeah.
We'll go out and water. Luckily, the last couple of weeks, we've never gone more than, 48 hours without a significant rainfall.
I didn't see, I mean, was there specific contract language related to that, or
Yes,
like,
sir.
typically with plants, daily watering.
Yeah, well, and they're responsible for the plants for, the warranty on the plants is a year.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not a horticulturist, so I don't know how much I should be watering, or how often, how long.
First 3 months. Water.
I get daily watering at all my
Yeah.
places, of all my plantings. But,
Mhm.
I mean, if that's, I think the thing I'm getting at is that this is something that we were expecting and are
Not yet.
quite frankly paying for. Somehow we're paying for it, but we're not getting the service.
That's,
Might be a concern to bring to,
that's been addressed by Calder.
okay,
He's on top of that.
good, yeah.
The mowing, they were supposed to be mowing once a week also, and they weren't mowing, and I ended up having to mow for alumni weekend, just so it looked decent, when college people were here, seeing what the college put money towards.
Yeah.
But they've contracted with a local landscaper that's now mowing every Thursday, and they do a good job.
But yeah, I mean, the watering, there's a firm right next door here that waters daily all over the area. I mean, they should, we should be getting what we're paying for.
I agree.
Yeah. Great, anything else?
That's it on the building side.
Any members have any questions? Okay. Moving into old business, the finance committee report, Melissa's not here. Again, as noted, we did meet last week. Primarily talking about, obviously Billy Joe presented to us that she's working with the auditors, so do that. As well as we did talk about, where am I going? What's that?
Bruce was.
We talked about the building, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, so Bruce was here. So Bruce did present to us on the building, and again, to sum it up, it was basically that we're just waiting on Consigli to kind of true up things and looking forward to closing things out. We're looking to get a much clearer spreadsheet detail and looking to, just make it, for lack of a better way of putting it, simple, stupid for us to all just understand X, Y, and Z. So there should be more coming on that for our next meeting. And anything to add on that, Billy Joe? No.
small conversation.
Yeah, so our next thing, if there's nothing else on the finance committee report, the old building, we did talk about that. So some due diligence has been done on the old building, and I actually made the motion to just table further discussion on that. At this time, as we just as we kind of regroup on it. We did get some information related to it. We did find the survey on the property. Not a huge parcel by any means, but we at least know what we've got there. The one thing I did note is there is a sewer main that runs between the river and the building, which appears to pick stuff up in the back. The chief was able to find the records for the tank removal, the former oil tank, so that has been removed. And I have reached out to our attorney at KP Law to get some follow-up information, just procedural matters to how we can proceed with the next steps for our planned disposition of the building. So hopefully we report back at the next meeting on that. New business, fire chief performance review. As we know, as being on the takes up, one thing we'd always talk about was the performance reviews. Standard in this industry to do performance reviews. It's hard to believe that the chief's been here for over a year now. We're almost a year and 4 months, right? About right, about a year and 3 months. Yeah. So as a procedural matter, at our next meeting, we will put on the agenda a performance review where we can have a discussion with the chief amongst all of us. And it is public and open to the public. And we can discuss any concerns, high fives, whatever we have. What I did present you all with today is just a draft performance review worksheet that you're all welcome to use as a template. This is also going to be circulated to you in email form, which will probably make it a little easier to fill out. And just, yes, that's going to be corrected. It was a template from another department, but that will be corrected.
Already has been,
Already done.
and it's already emailed.
And so I guess what I would ask is if, when everybody receives that over the course of the next month, if you could fill that out before our next meeting. And probably the best thing is just send it to me, because in looking at this one, I mean, we're basically going to review these performance reviews with you. So I would think in this regard, if you just fill it out and bring it with you for our next meeting. Yep. Unless there's something else, Chief, from you, kind of a first for us here at the department. So,
Yeah, I would.
yeah, I think the easiest thing is if everybody just wants to fill it out, they can fill it out online or fill out this paper version. And we'll bring it to the next meeting and we can talk about any discussion points. Great. Anybody have any questions on that? And how about any items not reasonably anticipated by the committee? Does anybody have anything to bring up under new business? Okay, there ain't no new business on that. We'll go to the Chiefs report, grant updates.
So, I wasn't able to print today because of the power outage, and we're having some networking issues. So all of you have received the chief's report, that template, and a draft for the administrative assistant position, which I really need some guidance on, like where we're going with this, but those are all in your emails. I sent the email before I come upstairs. Chief's report. Aerial service was completed today on the tower. The continued repairs and aerial testing will happen over the next few weeks, but aerial service went very well today. He was able to fix a couple of things, so when the guy comes to do the aerial test, he shouldn't note them as deficiencies. But he was pretty pleased with the condition that the aerial's in. The required annual rescue tool and SCBA services are scheduled. They'll be out shortly. Rescue tools will be done next Friday. SCBA probably in the next few weeks. Our equipment analysis and replacement is ongoing. On the grants front, the state grant reimbursement was applied for on schedule, and we're awaiting disbursement of the funds for that. The federal volunteer fire assistance grant, the forestry grant that we get, which is a 50-50 grant, has been awarded. We're just awaiting a signed contract so we can order the stuff that we were awarded this year in it. And on the AFG front, they have conducted peer reviews. They were down at the National Fire Academy last week doing peer reviews for the AFG grants. So I would have to imagine it's only going to be another couple of weeks before they start making announcements. So no word yet, fingers crossed, but don't get your hopes up. Under miscellaneous, we already talked about all the stuff. It was all of the station items, the conditioning of the space for the data room, the FF&E items that are still outstanding. FY 2026 budget, we did finish within budget, which was good. We did spend with an abundance of caution because that really still wasn't my budget. It was my first year with working off a budget that wasn't really mine. So I really tried to be cautious, and you know that some accounts had some decent money in there for turn back, but you know, I'd rather turn back than be a penny over. Mm-hmm. The 2027 budget restructuring is going really well. Billy Joe and I are working out the kinks in the tracking and the number, and we're getting this down so that it's a very easy to follow and very much simplified budget process, which should help us to be able to track. And it'll help me be able to develop, trending and forecasting for future budgets. Under community risk reduction, 16 permits in June, 34 plan reviews of project approvals. And as of noon today, we had responded to 234 incidents, and that's before we did three, since I typed that, so really 237, which is pretty close to where we were last year. We're still trending to do 425 to 475 calls, which is, again, busier than we were, but not, incrementally busier than last year. So I think that as long as we stay on this path, that our budget will hold up based on what I planned for the firefighter budget.
Plan review, is it commercial mostly or?
No, what's used plan reviews and project approvals in June is 10 permits for graduation.
Ah,
Okay.
Those 10 permits.
Like, I was
10
looking at Joe, I'm like, "Boy, Joe, so that much construction going on."
Yeah, no, 10 permits, it was probably, you probably take away 10 or 12 of those. It was an average month, 10 permits are fast.
Mhm.
So we do have a lot of stuff going on though. Ryan Contender and I have actually met with the Clark about their upcoming big project that they're doing. We've had some stuff going on Spring Street with some of the businesses. We have some complaints with some of the commercial properties that he's brought me on board with that we're addressing. So we've been pretty busy. Paul Harsh, the building got hit by a car last 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Yeah, just was in drives out there in reverse and right up into the side of the building. But the car versus building wasn't a item on the policy that we are sent to. It is now. And they understood why as soon as I got there, because there was actual structural damage. You had about 2 feet of infiltration into the building, displaced 2x4s.
Sometimes gas lines are run through.
Yeah.
And gas
Yeah.
lines and I had a very educational discussion with the responding officers about where they parked and why they shouldn't park there. And, I couldn't find the video, but there's a video of a police car on its side because they parked up next to a building that had been hit by a vehicle, and when the gas blew, it blew the cruiser right onto its side, so.
Yep.
They were very, very well educated that day. They were like, oh yeah, we probably should park way over here. Yeah, see where I parked, that's a good spot. So, we're moving along, going okay.
Excellent. Thank you. What do you think, Bob? We got any community members out there today?
No, nobody's logged onto the Zoom.
All right, for sure. So, our next meeting, possible tax classification hearing, will perhaps be on Wednesday, August 26th. With the normal Prudential committee meeting following that right at 4:30. So I guess summary, our next meeting looks to be Wednesday, August 26th. Anybody have anything else for us? Hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, great, thank you.